Hi there, I'm Kate, and today I'm going to teach you how to play First Ascent, a rock climbing themed strategic board game. In this video, we'll be discussing Guide Mode, which is a simpler version that's great for your first time or just when you're looking for a more casual game. The link for the standard version is in the description below. In this game, all players are rock climbers, competing to establish the best route up the mountain and become the most skilled climber. This will be measured by how many points each player gets throughout the game, and whoever has the most points wins. Points are gained in 3 ways: climbing pitches, reaching a summit, and completing objectives. Each player has 7 ropes and a climber, and the game ends when a player has used all of their rope and climbed their 7th pitch. Let's start with setup. First, pick which game board to use. We're playing a 3-player game, so we'll use the desert side. Use the forest side if you're playing with 4 or 5 players. Place each pitch on the board in a location with the corresponding number. Place all pitches below the ledge face up and all the pitches above the ledge face down. Since there is more than 1 pitch of each value, the mountain changes every time you play. And if you're playing with the desert side, you'll have 1 extra pitch. Just put it back in the box. Set the portaledge next to the board and separate 7 slab skills, crack skills, face skills, and gear cards from the asset card deck. Place the stack of each card type face down on the portaledge. Shuffle the remaining asset cards and deal a starting hand of 7 cards to each player. Place the remaining asset cards in a stack on the board, then lay 4 of them out on the spread. Next, go through the climbing card deck and remove the cards with a teal band. Put those cards back in the box. Shuffle the remaining climbing cards and place them face down on the board. Look through the summit beta tokens and remove the ones with the teal band on the outside edge and place them back in the box. Place the remaining summit beta tokens on the board. Next, randomly select 3 circular objective tiles and place them at the top of the board. For your first game, I would suggest using the climb 3 corners, gain 1 point for each sunny pitch, and climbing the north ridge. Then place the skill and gear tokens and risk die nearby off the board. Each player then selects an A-side character to play. Take the corresponding climber and 7 ropes. Place the water and sight cubes at the starting level indicated by the white numbers on the character mat. Note that you will have 1 extra rope of each color that will not be used, and there are a few other components left in the box. That's okay, we don't use those in guide mode. Next, each player will introduce their character and their special ability. Then determine who will go first. This is whoever has recreated outside most recently. And that's the setup. Let's take a moment now to explain how the board works. Each hex tile is a pitch, and when you climb a pitch, you earn the number of points listed at the top of the tile. Each pitch requires specific assets that need to be played in order to climb it. There are 6 types of assets: gear, slab climbing skills, crack climbing skills, face climbing skills, water, and psych. As we saw in setup, the skills and gear are cards in the asset deck. Water and psych are tracked on the character mat. On your turn, you can either climb or rest. To climb, move your climber onto a pitch in the first row. Pay the required assets for the pitch by laying down the skills and gear cards in front of you, and move your water or psych marker if it's required for the pitch. Then discard the asset cards and draw a climbing card. Read the card out loud, make a decision, and follow the instructions on the card. You may have to choose to manage your resources, modify the board, or roll the risk die. When it says to gain a card, draw it from the portaledge. Check the rulebook if you need clarification on climbing card choices. Once you've resolved a climbing card, discard it and then draw 3 new asset cards from the spread, deck, or a combination of both. Then say, "Off belay!" to let the next player know it's their turn. Play continues in a clockwise manner. Now let's talk about what to do when you don't have all the assets you need to climb. One option is to trade in 3 cards of 1 asset type in exchange for 1 card from the portaledge. If you still don't have all the assets you need, you might need to rest. Announce that you're resting at the beginning of your turn and lay your climber down. Then gain your choice of 5 assets: water, psych, or cards from the portaledge. You may choose any combination of the assets. For example, you can gain 2 water, 1 psych, and 2 cards, or just draw 5 asset cards from the portaledge. Then your turn is over and play passes to the next player. Now that you know how to climb, let's go through some movement rules. You can move your climber from your current pitch onto any pitch touching it. However, you may not climb a pitch you've already climbed or a pitch with another player's climber currently on it. When you advance onto a new pitch, move your climber and add a new rope to it. You may climb a pitch after another player as long as they've moved on to a new pitch. If you're not the first to climb a pitch, it requires 1 less asset and earns you 1 less point for each previous climber. So, if I wanted to climb the leap year flake after the yellow player, I would choose to not use a gear, face skill, any skill, or water. I would receive 1 less point, so it would be worth 0 points, but I might still want to climb it because it works towards an objective, which we'll talk about later. When you move off that pitch, make sure your rope is on top of the previous climber's rope so you can keep track of the order in which a pitch was climbed. Eventually, someone will reach the 3rd row, just below the ledge. When a player ends their turn in the 3rd row, flip over all the tiles on the head wall before the next player starts their turn. The ledge gives players some additional mobility around the mountain. It connects all pitches in the 3rd and 4th row. So if you are on a pitch in the 3rd or 4th row, you can climb any pitch in the 3rd or 4th row on your next turn, and you may cross the ledge multiple times. Eventually, you might climb all the way to the summit, which will earn you a bonus point at the end of the game. The summits are the only pitches that may be shared by more than 1 climber. You may climb down from a summit, but remember, you can't reclimb a pitch you've already climbed. In addition to climbing pitches, players can gain points by achieving objectives. These are the 3 tokens at the top of the board. Some objectives relate to the path of a route, such as traversing or climbing the north or south ridges. Some objectives require you to climb 3 pitches of the same feature type. The type of each feature is listed on the top of the tile and indicated by distinct colors for each. The 6 types of features are corners, cracks, roofs, arêtes, slabs, and flakes. If you achieve a shared objective, there is no need to announce it. It will just be added to your score at the end of the game. Players continue climbing up the mountain until 1 player has used all of their rope and climbed their 7th pitch. And that's how to play First Ascent in guide mode. Finish out the round so that every player had the same number of turns, then tally up the score, and whoever has the most points wins. Thanks for watching, and leave a comment below if you have any questions. Good luck on your climb.